Hello and welcome to Tête-à-tête with Tiwa. We're answering your questions, and today's question is about forgiveness.
Sorry, that's Tinuka.
I'm Tineke.
I'm Wale.
Should we do that again?
Yes, I think we should.
Hello and welcome to Tête-à-tête with Tiwa. I'm Tineke.
I'm Wale.
And we're answering your questions. Oh, my life. Okay, today's question is about forgiveness. And the question is, how do you forgive the other person when they have done something wrong? I don't really understand this question. It says, how do you forgive them? As in, what do you do to forgive them? I think for me,
Or can you forgive them?
well, the second question is, what can be done to you that will make you not forgive them?
Okay, so two different questions.
Two different questions. So how do I forgive anybody, not just Wale? I just kind of, this is not something I struggle with because I don't, I've been forgiven too. I'm not perfect. People make mistakes. So I just kind of, I mean, it might hurt. It might, I'll take it to God, whatever. But I just, it's not something that, I don't think it's something that I struggle with. I don't really, it's almost like water off a duck's back because I just think, yeah, I just don't let it get to me. So I don't know if they want practical steps as how I don't let it get to me. And there's a lot of, this is what I said in one of the other videos, there's a lot of inner work that I've done on myself. That means that there are things that I do automatically that I don't really think about anymore, but I have had to get to this level, to this stage, through different things that I've done. But I think somebody says something, they upset me or offend me. I don't even really get offended like that. I don't know.
So, yeah, okay. Forgiveness is a choice. So you decide immediately, or after you've processed whatever is hurting you, or has hurt you, whether or not you're going to forgive. One thing I realize, and which is why again it's easy for me. I don't know about this inner work that perhaps maybe that's what it is. Who knows? But lack of forgiveness, in my opinion, and the way I see it, is egotistical. It's pride, it's ego that makes us get to a point where we feel that we are not able to forgive somebody because of what they've done. Especially as we are imperfect ourselves. It's the way I look at it. Nobody has the monopoly on perfection. Everybody falls short at some point in time or the other against somebody or the other. So that thing of I can't forgive or I won't forgive, well, the way I look at it, take a look at yourself. If you can absolve yourself of everything that you've done to somebody else, then perhaps you can sit on that chair. But as long as you can't, in all practicality, I think it's ego. I mean, it might take work for you to get there, but that's what it is. It's pride, it's ego. And from where we come from, pride comes before a fall. It will build, but it can't birth anything good. So it is best to forgive for your own sake, and I mean as well as the other person, but really more so for yourself, because it'll probably affect you more.
I was just going to say, I mean, a lot of the times when you don't forgive someone, you are the one that's dealing with the issue. The person is getting on with their life. And there's a quote, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's Nelson Mandela's, or there's a quote that says, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So there's a benefit in you forgiving in the first place. But you've kind of answered the next question.
More practical. Well, I don't know about practical, but another way to look at it is that I would view it, and that I think I do, is you, and I'm assuming that this question is directed to us within a marriage.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
You've built a home together, or you're building a home together, and there's joy within that union. There's happiness, all the good things within that union. and then somebody does something that's really, pissed you off or whatever. And then you now decide, because of your unforgiveness, or rather, because of the pain that you have felt or you have gone through, you are happy to, essentially, that's what it means, to tear apart every other good part of that union based on that infraction, as it were. You've got to think deeply about that. No, I'm being serious. Yeah, you've got to think deeply about that. Is that what you want to do?
But you see, I think, and this is the thing, because I think a lot of people, when unforgiveness comes, is because they're hurt, and if they don't know how to deal with their hurt, then they're now, and that's why I said the inner work that I did,
Right.
because it's like, if you don't know how to deal with your hurt, you are going to lash out. Hurt people.
Right.
They're not thinking about the bigger picture, the consequences. They're just thinking, I'm hurt and I need to hurt you back, or whatever they're thinking. So I think whilst what you're saying makes perfect sense in that moment.
No, I understand in that moment. You're not, every emotion is valid. You have the right to be pissed off. You have every right to feel hurt. If you've been hurt, you've been hurt. But where do you go from there?
Yeah,
that's really what it's about.
Knowing how to handle your emotions and what
where
you do.
Where do you go
with
from
emotions.
there?
Inner work, guys. You need some inner work. That's my. But I mean, you kind of need to have some tools to know how you deal with your emotions. But that's a completely different conversation entirely.
Okay. I was going to say logical deduction. But yeah, I'm sure what you're saying is a bit more. Yeah.
The other question was, what can be done to you that will make you not forgive them? So for me, that's nothing. I refuse not to forgive.
Absolutely nothing.
Most times for me, forgiveness is quite immediate, pretty much. But maybe sometimes it will take a bit longer. But there's nothing that anybody can do to me that I will not forgive, because who am I to now decide that?
Well, that's the thing. That's exactly it. I mean, who am I?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, and especially with the backdrop of I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And one of the tenets of Christianity is forgiveness. And then you say that you cannot forgive the person, yet you think, in all honesty, you have, you can stand before God and say, yeah, everything else is cool, but you know what? I can't forgive. So you deal with that.
Yeah.
Think about it in those terms. So yeah, I think it's that inner work thing. If that is your position, if that is how things are for you, then you've got to learn to deal with it. So do whatever is practical or spiritual, whatever it is, to get to a place where you're able to deal with this, so that it doesn't affect you or your union or your relationships. Because I imagine it's not, because if you have this as a rule, period, it affects everything that you do.
But someone actually said that to me when she was talking about somebody that hadn't forgiven, and she said it's like a cancer. It started with one person and it has literally seeped across her entire life, and it's just because of the issue she had with one person that she didn't forgive. It's literally eaten into her whole life. So I think it's a dangerous place to be, and it's not a place that one wants to be. Yeah. So we try not to be there.
Yeah. I don't even think we need to try that out. No, we're not there.
We're not there. Well, that's it. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty.